All right, we promised that we would have the Ram and the Fargo at Mopar Fest. Hopefully we got to see you guys there. There was a ton of interest in both projects. Did I get them running in time or not? You'll figure that out in this episode. We made custom one-off t-shirts for Mopar Fest, but we ran out extremely fast and we apologize for that. So what we did was we put them on our website. So if you missed out a chance of buying that one-of-a-kind shirt with the Ram on it, you can head to bossgarage.com. We don't want anybody to miss out. We kind of grossly underestimated how high of demand those shirts were. So we apologize, but we're making it right. There's also a ton of other new merch on there, so check that out as well. If you're upset that you missed us at Mopar Fest, we're gonna be at a Dream Cruise in Dunville here with a bunch of our cars. It's a whole bunch of stops along the way. It's quite the drive. A gentleman in town here that does all the radiators and helped us with the rads for the LC and a bunch of other stuff. He's got an awesome car collection. We're gonna be there selling merch and shaking your guys' hands. Hopefully this thing will be driving. If not, maybe the Land Cruiser will be there running and driving. We can give you guys rides in the world's first diesel electric hybrid. But regardless, we want to give you a full episode on this Fargo because we got so much work done to it, and Baxter's doing a really, really good job. So let's get into it. Here we go. Imagine I take this beautiful roll off, take it and plunk it on the back of that Fargo. So when we bought this truck, it had the original DT466 with the MW pump. The dream evolved into a DT466 NGD compound turbo, which puts out about twice as much horsepower and twice as much torque.
Everything in it turns faster now.
Okay.
I like the crop you got growing on the crane.
Yeah.
We're gonna be putting those boxes on here. So one's going right here and one's going behind it. Sweet.
We got to get this Fargo together. That's as far as I can go, and I just got to line that up with that a little better.
Because I mean, it's already got the shape that it needs.
It's way better than I thought it was going to be. Why you got to be so negative?
I'm just being real.
We got Mike from MJ Signcraft.
Just trying to mimic the texture on there, so.
All right, so I got the boxes. I finished welding them all up. Come back here. Welded a patch in the back of here, and I welded this angle on here. I filled it all in. Rich wanted me to color match the box and the side of the roll off the same color as this. So I took a chip off of this and brought it to Home Hardware, and they color matched it for me. All I'm doing now is drilling the holes to mount the box. So I got 2 bolts in right now. I'm gonna put 2 more at the back and do the same for the other side. Yeah, other than that, they look pretty good. And I hope Rich sticks with 1 box, because I think with 2 it kind of looks like a school bus, but he can do whatever he wants. This side's like a mirror image of the other side. It's got the slant on the back, and I had to do this indent because I notched right here in the other side, and I wanted to put an extra support in there just in case. So then I just notched all this out to make it nice and comfortable in here. And then as you can see, this notch right here is for these beams right here.
Flashback.
Okay, so this is the bench seat out of the Fargo. We're gonna drop that off to Abby in town. She did the 48 Fleetmaster 4-door that we rebuilt. You wanna check that out. But she charges less if you remove all the mouse crap out of it and the raccoon shit. So, yeah, I took the extra little bit of time to put Abby in a good mood. But the steel is rotten on the bottom too. So I don't think it needs to be here, so we'll just cut that off. And then we'll drop that off, and she can use the old, there's enough left of the old one to make a template. And then the month or 6 weeks it'll take her to do that, we'll almost be ready to install it, hopefully. All right, so my wife's been asking me, why do you have these vehicles in the yard? Well, it's pretty simple reason, really. It's because you never know what could still be useful. Like all these little springs. I think I can do better though. I think I've got a a good cushion right here, because you never know. Oh, look at all those good springs. All right, we'll take those springs and add them to the Fargo. But I don't think we're going to be using these seats. I generally don't throw stuff away, but it's kind of neat art. It's been here a while. We can do a will it start video later. But let's grab these springs for the Fargo.
So today, Rich has got me putting the Fargo seats in the Fargo. Here they are here. I made sure not to put on the ground. That one's on a creeper right now. The other one's on the deck. This one has 4 mounting holes. But if you see where the seat mounts up, is right here and right here. So there's either another bracket to mount the seat up, or I have to build one. Yeah, so I just got off the phone with Rich. We have to customize something to mount the seat up here. It's gonna be pretty wicked. Rich wants it as far back as I can go, as high as I can go without his head hitting the ceiling. And so it's nice and packed in there. Here we go. So I got the seat temporarily sitting here. It's very comfortable actually. And I got a perfect view out the windshield, and there's enough room from top of my head to the roof where I don't think Rich is gonna hit the roof. So we should be good here. She's just sitting on that frame down there. You can see that. That frame's just sitting on this frame. It's already at a good height. So I'm gonna come up with a couple ideas on how to mount this and get back to you guys.
All right, it's nice and bright and early, and we got to get this Fargo together. So Baxter did a great job of painting the sides the same green as what is the original Army color underneath. We're gonna go with just 2 boxes. We can stick the fuel and the hydraulic tanks inside them, hide them nicely, and then we still have our whole headache rack to also hang binders and stuff off of, so we might just weld like a ledge on there to hang them off, clamp them on, so that's all good. But in the meantime, we got to secure this cab properly, and if you see, I don't know if you see it, but the cab is tilted down a little bit. We're gonna lift the back up a bit, then we can weld those mounts. And then we got to go inside and see all of our clearances, because we have to kind of build this firewall around our compound turbo system, and it's pretty tight in there. So what we're gonna do is lift that up. I don't really care about the passenger footwell, because most of the time there won't be a passenger in this. And then the drivers, I got to give myself as much room as possible, but it's a very short nose. There's not much, like it's only, by the time we put our radiator in here, there's not much room. So most of the engine, like the middle of the engine is on the firewall, so half the engine's inside the cab, which is going to be tricky. So we have to get some creative. It's a holiday, so hopefully Canadian Tire's open to give me a wheelbarrow, because there's the engine pretty well up to the back of the seat, because I think the seat is basically right here. So I'm gonna put my shifter kind of coming up through here, and hopefully that fits. It'll be interesting, but we'll get her. The steering shaft, that we're gonna change that to the one from the International, I think, and then at least we'll get rid of this, and then it'll just be one shaft going through, so then I can move my brake pedal over, so I can move my throttle pedal. Put my throttle pedal where my brake pedal is. It'll be fine. All right, so we got a couple bolts in the rear cab mount, and now if you look, that cab is sitting much better. It's tilted. The front can actually go up a hair, which will help with the turbo clearances, but we can roll it into the shop now. We've got our old firewalls there still. We might be able to incorporate some of this, maybe even like just this bolt pattern to bolt it to the top, and then we might have to get a wheelbarrow or something and weld that to the top there. but we have to make all these turbos fit. So first things first, this floor here, we're gonna put the big turbo back on again, and then we might have to notch the top a little bit just for the little guy. She's tight, but it'll be fine. Yeah, once we get the turbos and the intercooler piping back on again, we can tack everything in place in here and then pull the cab off, and then we can weld all that inside the cab. So we're gonna remove the blower fan. We're gonna head up Simplicity Air and see about the nice heating and air conditioned section, because it's gonna be kind of warm because the turbo's inside the cab and the entire exhaust manifold. So yeah, it'll be interesting in the summer. It'll be really awesome to drive for like 2 weeks in the spring and like 3 weeks in the fall. The rest of the year it'll be either really hot, but that's what you do, the sacrifices of driving a sick truck. There we go. Guess what you get to do?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
It's a wheelbarrow job for you today. So I need all this dirt moved from over there to just over there.
I'll get the tractor out for that one.
Good, because the wheelbarrow is actually the transmission tunnel. So as much time and effort was spent by a high school co-op student putting this together, you can take it all apart.
Yeah.
And then figure out how to make that fit as tight as possible around my engine bay. So Vince and I welded the pipes last night. So we had to redo some pipes.
Yeah.
But the first place to start is, this is the old tunnel. You can cut right on this lip here. See if it fits. So I would cut it here, leave the throttle pedal in there, take that linkage out on the back, and then bolt this up, and then figure out how to attach this is already the profile of the firewall, right? So then you can lay the wheelbarrow on top, you can tack it in place or self-tap it in place. So you're gonna cut like that. So what we'll do is grab the wheelbarrow, we'll weld that to the top lip of this, just fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Jeez, no problems. She's gonna be a weird looking doghouse, but it'll work. All right, Baxter, since you're gonna be riding shotgun all the time anyway, how about you climb up it?
I'm gonna be driving.
You're gonna be driving it? I don't think so. You hop in there and tell me how much leg room you actually need.
All right. Oh, that's tons.
That's tons?
Yeah.
Well, I have to cut this out even here and down like that. So move your leg over a bit.
I'll be driving. I'm not all right with this.
So see this is the edge of the seat right here.
Yeah.
So if you tuck your legs back,
yeah, right there.
that's okay. Now this is gonna be on fire because this is like super hot right here. So if you get too close, it'll burn all your leg hair off.
Heated flooring, right?
Heated flooring, and no, you won't have any. You'll be a really good swimmer because you won't have any hair on your legs.
That's awesome.
I think it's either redo all the turbo piping or just sacrifice your leg hair.
I'd sacrifice the leg hair.
All right.
This is turbos. Leave them.
Sounds good. We'll do that then. I'm gonna go get some fresh Sawzall blades and some more grinder blades, and we'll make that fit. That's gross. Because who needs leg room when you have turbos? Just think about, I'm really uncomfortable, but I have lots of turbos. My feet are on fire, but I have turbos. All right, so we got that turbo on, but I just have to modify this intake pipe a little bit. Vince is gonna come back. We're just going to extend that a little bit and then turn the corner a bit. Put a little S-bend in there to try and get that. So we're gonna bring it out and then we're gonna curl it in and then back towards the turbo there, because I need that's as far as I can go, and I just gotta line that up with that a little better. I thought that might happen, but not the end of the world, but it, Vince needs some spending money too, so.
Oh, you want to move that seat back a bit? Perfect. Alrighty. Time to test fit this concoction. What the hell?
Remember I told you to take that throttle pedal off too?
I was lost. You were talking too quick. Very lost.
Remember
There you go.
when I told you? That's not bad.
No, that's...
Oh, it's fantastic. It's way better than I thought it was gonna be. Why you gotta be so negative?
I'm just being real.
It always looks the worst from the start, and I know my injection pump is right in the way. Basically, I can just stick a little rod out from the throttle lever and just kick it with my foot.
Hey, why don't we just build something out of fiberglass or carbon fiber?
Ooh.
And it's like a doghouse, right?
Yeah. Save me a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Can you do it in a week?
Oh, I don't even know how to work with fiberglass, but YouTube will teach me.
If you make a mold that goes around the engine.
Out of like spray foam or something like, just, I'm not saying I'm gonna use spray foam, but something like that.
Yeah, yeah. You could almost use spray foam if you put plastic over the engine.
Yeah.
And then spray foamed it.
Yeah.
And then you can shave kind of the contour off and then lay your fiberglass on top of that.
Yeah. That's cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, carbon fiber. It would actually quiet it down quite a bit too, rather than the tinny steel.
Oh yeah?
So I do want this welded up. So this, I cut way too far back.
Yeah.
So make that steel so that it goes here.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do the fiberglass, we can absolutely do that.
Alright, yeah, I'll do that.
So we have a video on making the Audi bumpers. You can watch that.
Is that fiberglass?
It's yeah, it's fiberglass.
Really?
The front bumper's
What
fiberglass.
happens if you get hit?
It breaks.
Yeah.
Don't hit stuff. That's why I don't let you drive.
That's why I'm putting a ranch hand on my truck so I can hit more stuff. It's fun.
We have two very different
We start
mentalities.
running over people.
All right, you make it work. You tell me. I'm excited to see what this looks like because I gotta leave. But you have a really nice cover by the time I'm back.
Okay. How far do you want this out? To here?
No, I would go. This pipe needs to go in a bit.
Yeah.
But I would as close to the engine as you can.
Really? What about
Yeah.
this? What are you thinking for the shifter then?
I'm not thinking about the shifter right now because it doesn't look like it's gonna fit.
At least you're being real, Rich. Yeah, the only thing is the wind's getting a bit annoying pushing this up once in a while.
Oh, I see.
But you see the vision?
I see it now.
It's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what's. Don't do something stupid like carve Baxter out of your name or something
Well,
in there.
now that you say that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. Good luck. I will see you in a week.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I just got it all sprayed. I've been letting it sit for a while now. It's nice and dry. Nice and dry, right? But the only thing is, the bottom here isn't getting air, so it's still wet. I think I'm just gonna pull it off anyway. Because I mean, it's already got the shape that it needs. So I'm gonna take it off and shave it all and get it ready for fiberglass. Let's see if I can even pull it off right now. Holy crap, yeah, it's coming right off. Let me go on the other side. Oh, look at that. A perfect mold of that. Look at that. Great mold. This back won't dry, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not building it off the back. Most of it's dry actually, except for a Couple little spots. Oh, that's just air in there actually. But yeah, it's nice and dry. So here we go. So I'm gonna start by shaving it all and make it all smooth, and then we'll get into the fiberglass part of it. Now, if you guys are wondering what we're using for this job, automotive resin, got it at the nearest Napa. Alright, so I got the doghouse out of the styrofoam mold I made for it. It popped out really easily with the tinfoil tape. I'm gonna put 2 more layers on it and then it should be ready for the Fargo. Today I am working on the Fargo front clip. Rich wants me to paint the backside of it matte black. Just run into a couple issues here. All this buildup. I want to clean this surface before I paint it. So I tried pressure washing it off, but this stuff doesn't really go away. I don't know. It might be bed liner, or it also might be under oil that soaked in a bunch of dirt and kind of just hardened on me. So what I tried doing, spraying oven cleaner on it. I'm gonna pressure wash that now and see if that worked. And then after that, I guess I'm gonna try this penetration oil. And if that doesn't work, I'm just gonna move on to gasoline or paint thinner. Probably not paint thinner. Well, the oven cleaner didn't really do anything. So I'm gonna move on to this penetrating oil. I'm just gonna give it a nice light coat on there. I'm just gonna focus on this main area here and just see if it's gonna do anything at all. I don't think it's gonna do anything, but it might. Well, that penetrating oil did absolutely nothing. So, I got a water bottle here full of gasoline. It's got a little hole on the top of here. I'm gonna spray some of this down and try it out. Let it sit probably 10 minutes, probably be a good idea. Alright, that should be enough. It's about half a water bottle. Hopefully this works. If not, I'm gonna have to get the scraper out. Well, gasoline didn't really do anything either. So I'm gonna get to work with the scraper. And if you guys have any good ideas on how to get whatever this is off of here, shoot them out in the comments. Appreciate it. Alright, I got mostly everything off of there now. Both sides are clean. So now I'm gonna take it back over. I'm gonna do it over in the shade over there. I'm gonna hit these rusty spots with the wire wheel, both sides, let it dry off. Hit anywhere that doesn't have paint on it and like has rust on it with primer, let that dry, and then hit it with some matte black. It looks really sharp. I didn't want to go gloss black because it would take away from the engine, it would be all shiny. Matte black, low profile, keeps the engine looking sharp. Now that the front clip is ready to go on, next step, you mount the rad up. I believe it's just one bolt. I don't know where the nut is for it, and I don't know where the rubber is. That goes in here, and then the rad bolt goes right through the rubber. But it's something like this. Just that rubber in there is what I need. So what I did end up doing is just drilling a hole in a hockey puck. Should go on there good, right like that. Mount it up. Now the rad is on. It looks mint. I have no idea how I'm gonna get this front clip on here actually though.
A lot of very tight clearances in there.
Yeah.
Might have to wrap the fan blade in sandpaper and then just sand down that last little bit up on its own.
You saw that hitting their fan shroud?
Yeah. Looking good. All right, we're back with the Fargo. We got Mike from MJ Signcraft. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, no worries.
You might remember Mike from the C10 build. He did all the lettering and all the rust matching on the side there. That was actually for my truck, and really appreciate it. Turned out awesome. Good. That was a great project. So now we're matching the Fargo. So what do we got here? We got a few layers of rust and paint and...
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything here. The original paint has weathered through with the sun, revealing primer underneath. We have the primer color there. So we're going to use basically a primer to try and match that, but unlike this where the paint has been removed, we've got to put the brown on, so we're working backwards. But it should be a fun project. The tricky part will be trying to mimic the textures that we see on here. You know, this here, it looks almost as if this was brush painted at some point, and you can see the heavier areas possibly. So yeah, we're going to try and do the best we can to make it look like it's been part of that forever.
So precision work to make it look like shoddy work.
Precision ugly.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so we're using a rust paint primer here. Just stirring it up to make sure all the pigmenting and stuff is mixed through. So this here should have a flat or a really low gloss finish. That's why we want to make sure all the components are mixed up good. And then what we want to do is just compare this to the original primer on there and see how close we are. So the easiest way to do that is just to take a little bit and just dab it on there. And we can see we're a little bit darker with that. Now, as it dries, it's going to dry a little lighter. Okay, so you can see here, it's drying pretty quickly. We didn't have a heat gun, but it's just a little bit darker, which probably isn't the end of the world because there's distance between the cab and the box, but I'm going to try and just lighten that up a little bit by adding a touch of white to it. And just like in the first video, the big hit was the handyman's secret weapon, the loony can opener. All right, so we're gonna start applying some paint. We decided not to doctor the original because as it's dried, it's pretty close. Using a scrap of cardboard as a palette. I'm just gonna use little foam rollers. These are from the dollar store, they're great. Use them for everything, really. And so we're gonna just rough in some big areas first, and then we can use a chip brush, just a cheap chip brush, to kind of remove a little bit of that so some of the green shows through. It'll be too hard to get the roller in here, so we'll have to brush that in, but that's fine. We'll leave some green showing here in a few of the spots so we can kind of blend them in with a similar texture to what's on the cab. You know, these chip brushes are nice because they have a coarse bristle. You can kind of dab it and create that rusty looking texture, the unevenness. You know, just kind of make it up as we go here. Use your imagination a little bit. You know, looking at the cab, you can see how there's sort of random spots of color showing through. So we'll do a similar thing. Got a little piece of sponge that I used my table saw to cut some grooves into, so I had lines so that I can kind of create more linear lines like you see on spots on the cab here. There's lines, so we'll give a little bit of that kind of a feel to it, so it looks like it belongs there. Yeah, well, I mean, in a nutshell, you saw what we did here, just working with metal paint primer, color. We had to doctor it a little bit to get it closer, and then just using some creative tools, a paint stick or brushes, whatever, just trying to mimic the texture on there. So if you're doing something like this on your own, just be creative. Stuff around the house, you'll find you can dab and splash paint around and come up with something pretty cool.
So it's okay, Baxter. Sometimes things work out, sometimes things don't. That's just you're learning because you're going to school. Because that didn't really fit that well. It's okay. I can't use it though because
it's resting on the turbo. If you catch on fire, then you're kind of
I would be sad.
Yeah.
It would be a sad day.
Burn the whole truck down.
Yeah, like this is nice and sturdy. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's great practice for something else. It was a couple $100 in fiberglass and material and some time, but it's not, the time is wasted because you learned.
Okay.
But this is not gonna work because it does take up too much space.
Over here you can see it's hitting the turbo up.
Yeah.
So that's honestly a shame because I want it to be perfect. But.
Yeah, and we all want it to be perfect, but you're doing something that you've never done before, so it's hard to... How insulting would that be to somebody who does fiberglass all day, every day, and you nailed it on your first try?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That would make some fiberglass guy cry.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if we do use tin, the advantage to that is we could use like a shifter from a cab over.
Yeah.
Have the cables to run back to the shifter.
Okay.
It also allows a nice mount for the
all your buttons.
all the buttons and the controls for the roll off. So I think just because of that, we are going to go to tin.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. We've got clearance issues. We have an injection pump that goes right here. We need to have a line that goes off to the side, so we got to build that out a little bit. And we also need a spot for a throttle pedal. But if we take this brake and take it off and move it over to the other side, we've got a nice spot for a throttle pedal right here. We got all the movement that we need right there. So Baxter has been able to cut off everything that we need to give us just enough room. So let's bolt it down the way it's going to be.
Yep.
We can snip just this little bit and just bring this out just a hair, give us a little bit more room here. Just slit it and then tack it together. And then at least we have the factory bolt pattern that goes all the way around the outside. And now you can see kind of how the wheelbarrow will fit, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It's not a perfect fit. Generally the wheelbarrow goes up against the firewall and you got the kind of the slope part going up.
Yeah.
And then it comes down nice. We're gonna lay it the other way. So the first thing to do would be to take the wheelbarrow apart, because it's been here the entire time you've been doing that. You've been walking past it, you've been imagining how this would fit, and it'll come together pretty nice actually.
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know about that wheelbarrow.
I do. Do you have a better idea?
Yeah.
So I'm open to any suggestion.
You're
whatever.
open? Okay.
Yeah. So you tell me a problem. You come up with 2 different solutions for me, and I'll tell you which one is better, or if I want you to do what I want you to do. So you tell me, okay, I think this is the best way to go about it. I will listen to you and see, but otherwise I'll tell you what I think I would do.
All right. So I'm thinking we shouldn't hack up a totally perfect wheelbarrow, and I think we can do this without the wheelbarrow. I think we should do is have a piece, so from here it comes down like this and then goes like that. All we need is flat steel for that, and then we can build up like that and have it squared off like that.
So I have all of this space here where there's nothing really gonna go on. I think if I come out like this and go straight out, it's no different than doing the entire effort to build this little.
Oh, so what you're saying,
little,
you just want it straight?
Straight out,
okay,
and then down this way, and cover up the turbo, and then that's it. Now, for the passenger footwell, you might want to get a little more creative
down, yeah,
because you need somewhere to put your feet. But I'm good here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not doing anything else in this area here. It looks different now, right? Now you've got this nice curve here at the back. You got this nice rounded curve here, all one piece, because we don't have that giant press to do that.
Yep.
And that could come nicely right down.
Yeah, and it'll go right by the turbo. It's tall enough to go by the turbo and go around. And then all we have to do is put a ledge on here and then custom over here, but it's a lot less work than what I was thinking. It's a good idea.
You're seeing it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
You just gotta flip it around, and so take the wheelbarrow apart and just shove it in here. See what that looks like. Put the wheelbarrow on top of this piece that you made, come out and go down, right? And then that's nice and smooth, looks clean. There's no sharp corners. There's no crappy welds. And then we can.
Crappy. Hold on.
No,
crappy
I'm
welds.
just saying. It's not.
Hold
it's
on.
not a
Pump
nice.
the brakes, Donnie.
Your welds are fine. What are you thinking?
I'm not sure. Come along though.
Making sense now, right?
Yeah, it looks mint.
Try to tack it on the top here,
Yeah.
or self-tap it through. Something to hold this to your bolt.
Yeah.
But I would put all the bolts in, make sure that the bolts are in like everywhere, right? Because this changes. You don't have this bolted down, it changes, right? So this curve here is gonna fight you. This little bit here, because it curls around this way.
Yeah.
So if you cut it here, you're able to open this up,
Yeah.
and then you'll fill that in with a square piece of triangle, because then this will fold really nice.
So like what? Like right like this?
Yeah. Up to here, this little curve, you'll be able to fold up a bit. You might be able to meet this, and then bend this one.
Okay.
Right there, this will curl up, and then you'll match this. You might be able to weld it back on there.
Yeah.
And then this curve here, you'll be able to tuck in tighter to try and meet this. You can hit this with the grinder here, and then you can kind of tuck this in and see if you can butt this piece up to this piece.
Yeah.
Without hitting the injection lines underneath there. And then I would put a lip on the bottom here.
Yeah.
Somehow you got to put a lip on there.
Yeah, that's like the last thing I
No, I would do that so that when you bolt it down every single time, when you move it in and out, you've got the same place at the bottom and at the top. Because otherwise things start to change, right?
Okay.
When this is being held down at the top and at the bottom, you're able to bend and flex this steel more because it's not moving down below there then, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't put these bolts like half in, tighten them up.
No, that's all I had. That bolt is maxed out.
You grabbed those at Eggers at the same time because you were there?
Didn't think of it.
You didn't think of it.
Nope.
I didn't think to pay your full wage this week because you're wasting too much time.
Oh yeah.
How's she going, Baxter?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah?
Yeah. Just getting the curvature of the board here, or of the wall here, and I'm gonna cut it into this. Make it fit in there like a glove, tack it all. I built this so these lines, I don't hit them. I'm gonna tack that in there soon. I gotta cut this so I can bend it around as well. But first things first, I do wanna get this kinda ready for some metal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Put it on. That's starting to look like something, and it's not near as big as it was before.
Yeah.
So right on. Excellent. You're learning how to just tack little bits at a time, patience, and
Check this out, yeah. I think that looks pretty sharp.
yeah, nice. Right on. Alright, so this is where we ended up with. I'm actually really happy with Baxter's work so far. Now, working with small tin like this is extremely frustrating, especially when he told me that, you know, all he's ever done is just buzz it together in a couple spots and slather a bunch of Bondo on it. I don't really like that. I like solid welded all the way across. And even when it starts to warp a little bit because you use too much heat, we can bang that tight again with the dolly and then cut it again. So I don't know what happened here. Whether he's probably prying on it. I think the screwdriver mark, not an issue. Bit of a gap here that takes a little bit to fill, not a big deal. But overall, his gaps are pretty tight, so we should be able to work with that really nice. Now he butt this up against here. What we'll do is basically I should be able to see the burn marks right here. So that's the exact line of where we're at. So we can trim this and then we can bang that together and kind of fold that together and then cut it one more time even on the back, and that'll make a perfect match. Because he's at it like this, we'll cut it together, we'll bang it, they'll kind of overlap, and then we'll cut it again until we have just that thickness of the cutting wheel, and then we'll have a nice curve rather than like a straight 90 where we can't grind that. We can do all that all the way along here, and then before you know it, we've got a really nice custom doghouse. Now, it takes a little bit of imagination for somebody to be able to envision this out of just scrap steel that we have laying around. Like I'm not able to do this curve and this curve and this curve. We got the English wheel, we can do a little bit, but for him to be able to see a piece of steel, it's like, oh, you know, that'll fit nicely right around the injection pump there with the factory one here. I'm gonna modify and make this little thing right here for the injection lines. I'm really, really proud of that, really happy with that. So this is very good for a first time attempt. I wanted him to try the fiberglass, and I don't always want to tell him no. That's an expensive way to go to school, but that's fine, no issues whatsoever. That's what a trainee's for. It's a good thing we only pay him in milk and hope and dreams, the occasional cookie on a Friday afternoon, but we'll still get our money's worth out of Baxter then. So we're gonna go a little bit more into detail this on the next video. We'll do the ones on the turbo, and this will be finished on the next episode. At that point, we'll probably pull the cab back off again. We're gonna get into sound deadening. We're gonna do all the rust repair that has to be done on that. There's holes in the roof, so we're gonna do some Pour 15 fuel tank liner on the inside of that. That'll fix that up, and then we'll bolt the cab down for the very last time, and then we can start wiring, doing brakes and things like that. So still looks like a rough old truck, but it's coming along really, really nice. And when I see it in the shop there with the door open and the hood's open, the fender's out, the door's open, I'm like, man, what a nice universal truck. I'm very excited about that Fargo. Not bad for a project that I never intended to build in the first place. So thanks for watching, guys. Lots of other stuff happening. The Land Cruiser is now moving and driving under its own power. Baxter's also got the body off of the Wagoneer. We're working on the frame while I'm finishing the last of the Hemi up. Then before long we'll have a driveline in the Wagoneer as well. And it doesn't matter, as long as we keep moving in the right direction, then the projects will eventually, science says that it has to be finished if you keep moving in the right direction. Eventually we're gonna get there. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate every one of you. See you on the next one.